Hello. How's it going? Hey, what's going on, Flatliners? This is Lonnie Hill on Flatline Fitness. We ain't gonna talk about physical fitness right now. You know, I'm out my neighborhood, strolling around, walking, thinking, allowing my mind to just travel, you know, and thinking about life and the people I associate myself with and the people that associate themselves with me, you know, because it's a twofold, it's a two-way street. You know what I mean? It's never just about I. It's about us and everyone that that's involved in your life. My circle personally is very, very small. You know, even in regards to family, born into family. And what I mean by that is that just because someone is born into your family, that doesn't make you guys family, in my opinion. And you know, family is just some letters that formulate a word, you know, to make people feel a certain way. But me personally, if we ain't acting like family, if we ain't doing the things that family do, I ain't worried about it. You know, so, but, you know, my circle is very small. Don't have many friends because I believe that less is more, you know, and the way that my heart is set up, you know, I like to think that I'm a very, very loyal person. I don't play games. There is no gray areas with me. I'm either with you or I'm not. And everyone's not like that. So I pick and choose I try to pick and choose very well. Hey, we all slip up every now and then and misjudge characters, but it is what it is. But that's not what I want to talk about today. Today I want to talk about because there's this TD Jakes video that I watch from time to time. It was given to me a couple years back by a friend, you know, and it's TD Jakes. I can't think of the other guy name that was sitting there talking with him, but it was relationship transformation. If you're in a relationship of any kind, friendship, monogamous, marriage, I think this is something that would benefit you. You know, so check that video out. You know, some people don't like TD Jakes for whatever reason, you know, and that's cool. You know, hey, what I eat ain't gonna make you go to the bathroom. And I'm sure he feels the same way, you know, but just because you don't like someone, that don't mean that they can't deliver a message that would be useful for you to implement into your life. So let me get to what I'm talking about. Anyways, in that thing they were talking about relationships, obviously, because it's named Relationship Transformation. And the brother that he was talking to said that there's a difference between a refrigerator and a parasite. No, a friend, he used the word friend and a parasite is what he used. Friend and a parasite. You know, obviously, I'm gonna say refrigerator. You know, and he did use the word refrigerator later on in that video. And I'm gonna use it right now in regards to refrigerator or parasite. If we know what a refrigerator does, a refrigerator holds value. It preserves. You know, whenever you cook some food and you don't eat it all or you want to save some leftovers for the next day or whatnot, what do? You put it in a refrigerator because the refrigerator holds it. It holds it so you can eat it the next day. It doesn't spoil, you know, as fast anyways. Eventually, if it's in there too long, it does, but it doesn't spoil. Scientists, whenever they're doing tests and things like that, and they want to preserve something, what do? They put it in a cooler. They freeze it so they can come back to it and use it again and again and again and again, you know, and sometimes they freeze it so they can come back to it and continue to add to it, build on it. You know what I mean? So a refrigerator, you get the point, a refrigerator, that's what a refrigerator is in this analogy right here. So now a parasite. We all know and understand what a parasite is. I mean, the name in itself you know, screams drain. A parasite, it takes from, it drains from. It's like a mosquito. When a mosquito latches onto you, it's draining you of your blood. It's just what it is. It takes away. A parasite takes away. It doesn't add any value. It's always taking, taking, taking. Now, there are different ways to be a parasite, consciously and subconsciously. And that's what I want to talk about, because I was thinking about it, you know, with the analogy that he gave, you know, he used it in a way to where I believe my interpretation of it was in a conscious way. You know what I mean? Being a parasite in a conscious way, you know, and that is like what I said, someone's just always taking, give me, taking, you know, and they may not understand what a parasite is, but when you ask somebody for something, when you're constantly saying, give me, you absolutely understand what you're doing. You know, and you're not gonna make me believe that you don't. You know what I'm saying? This pit bull over here looking at me, his tail ain't wagging. So yeah, let's just make sure he stays across the street. All right, he good. So yeah, he ain't got no chain on him either. Somebody need to leash their dog up. If I took off running, he probably would have chased me. But anyways, so parasite. Now there are different ways to be a parasite, and I'm thinking of it from a subconscious way now. You know, unknowingly being a parasite. For example, you got two people in a relationship. Okay? First of all, if you're in a relationship with someone, you should be adding value to each other's. You know, you should be motivating each other's. You should be lifting each other's up. If you're doing well by yourself and you get in a relationship, you should do better. If you and that person get together and do worse, then that relationship shouldn't be. I'm not a relationship expert. I'm gonna just say that. This is just me thinking out loud. But common sense. If you get with someone, if you're doing well by yourself and you end up being with someone and things get worse, how is that? 2 + 2 is 4. 2 + 2 is never 0 or negative. You know what I mean? So let's just get that out the way right there. You know, if your life has went down when you met someone, no matter how much you love that person, you got to get rid of them. And y'all can, you know, hey, be friends from afar or whatever, you know. But if it's not working out, then obviously y'all lifestyle isn't compatible or conducive to each other's, advantageous to each other's. There is a difference between the two, you know. So hey, so it's just what it is. So let's talk about this subconscious parasite. Now, a subconscious parasite. Let's say you got two people in a relationship. One person is, let's say, business oriented, want to work for themselves, tired of working for someone else. You know, that's just what it is. They want to work for themselves, tired of working for someone else. They want to write their own paychecks. You know, they want to advance higher than what a job will allow them to do. Because I don't care what company you work for, what job you work for. If you're working for someone else, your advancement has a cap somewhere. But if you're working for yourself, your advancement is only capped off if you stop grinding and elevating. Facts. So, this person is working for themselves, want to work for themselves, and let's say that they're working for themselves. And then you got another person, the other person, who is working for a business, job security. And to be honest, it's not always job security, but I'm not knocking anyone that works for someone else. I'm not knocking that at all. So let's get that straight. But working for someone else isn't always job security, because shoot, I got a sister who worked for a business for years. Man, I don't even know how many years. But the business went out of business. Guess what? She lost her job. And she didn't even get no type of severance pay or anything like that. You know what I mean? I know she was in that business for over 20-something years. Went out of business. So where's your job security? You know what I mean? So again, working for someone else is not a negative thing. I'm just using that for an illustration. Okay, you got two people in a relationship. One working for themselves, one working for someone else. I am a firm believer that a person that works for someone else will never know or understand the struggle of working for yourself. I'm a firm believer of that. And let me tell you why. Because if you're working for someone else, you can be at the top of that company. You can be the next man under the man, the next man under the man who owns the company, right? But yet you're fighting for the company, but you only have to worry about certain aspects of that company. Your job only includes certain aspects of that company. If you are the owner of that company, you have to worry about everything of that company. So, a person who's working for themselves and a person who's working for someone else, the struggles are similar in certain ways, but one struggle has a lot more responsibility. So let's go back to these subconscious parasites. I'm gonna bounce around here and there, you know what I'm saying, to kind of get to where I'm going and, prove my opinions and outlooks on things. So, that's just what I'm doing. And know that I'm not downing anyone for the lifestyle that they choose or how they choose, anything like that. I'm just, voicing my opinion. I firmly believe that whatever makes you happy in life, do it, because at the end of the day, that's what matters, happiness, So let's get that understood. Subconscious parasite. Excuse me. Okay, you have someone that's working for themselves, and you have the next person who's working for someone. Now, that struggle of working for yourself, I've sat at the table with millionaires. I've sat at the table with people that aren't millionaires, but business owners, many business owners. And the first thing they tell you is that them first couple years of owning your own business, 9 times out of 10, is going to be hell. It separates the real from the fake. You know what I'm saying? It separates the determined from the weak, the go-getters from the non-go-getters. You know what I'm saying? It's just what it is. It is hell. You know what I mean? And if you can get through that, it's just like Steve Harvey said, that speech called Jump. You know what I mean? Hey, when you jump, you're going to hit every rock on the way down. It's going to tear some skin off your tail. But when that parachute open, oh boy, oh my, okay, now back to subconscious parasite. Now, why I was saying that a person who works for someone will not understand the struggle of a person that, is working for themselves. Like sometimes we as people think we know what's best for our significant other or friend. So what happens is we go in and say, well, maybe, you've been doing this for so long, you know what I mean? And maybe you should go ahead and give it up. You You done tried it, it didn't work, get you a job and some stable income. At that point, you did it out of love, right? Because you're probably tired of seeing your significant other struggle, because you're there going through all the heartache and pain, you know, that person's going through. You're there to hold that person up, let that person cry on your shoulder, whatever case. But at the point you try to deter that person from their passion, from their dreams, their goals, you have just became a parasite. Subconsciously, because you did it out of love. You have just become a parasite. You know, and sometimes that may be what needs to happen. I'm not saying it's not. But what I'm saying is you have just become a parasite, because you have just, what you have, by stating that to that person, by putting that on that person's dreams, you have just placed doubt. You have just poured water on the word fear, because fear is the parasite of all success. I just came up with that. So don't nobody take that. That's mine. Lonnie Hill, Flatline Fitness, baby. Fear is a parasite, the parasite of all success. Fear has stopped so many people from succeeding. So when you tell that person that maybe they should give it up on what they're trying to do, that person may have already been thinking that. But because of their love and desire for it, their passion, they keep going. But then to have somebody validate that, that's not even going through what they're going through in regards to putting in the work, yeah, you're going through it because you're dealing with the emotional pain that person is going through, because you're the pillar that person leans on. You know what I mean? However, you're not putting in the work. You know what I'm saying? And that person, I'm trying to tell you, anybody who is trying to do something in life, especially when they're dependent on themselves and no one else, has always had doubt. But because they believe in their process, they believe in God's promise, they kept going and eventually end up succeeding. But once someone that they love and is supposed to love them says, maybe you should give it up, you have just watered and gave rebirth to that fear and doubt, which means that you have just became a parasite to that person's dreams. Me, what I do, this is what I do. If I see something, if someone I love, and I don't even got the, well, I love all people, but you know, I got a cap on it. You know what I'm saying? But if I see something that I don't think is working for someone that I'm close to and I care about, I don't put doubt in their mind. I don't do that. That's not how I work. But what I do, how I do it, is I throw options out there. But I leave it in their hands. I never say, well, maybe you should do this, or maybe you should let this go, or do this. You know what I'm saying? I start out by asking questions. What do you think is best? You know what I'm saying? And what that person is going to do from that point forward is they're going to start venting and giving it to you from their perspective. And somewhere in there are going to be ways that you can create options for that person based on what they said, because it came out of their mouth, based on what they said. And what you do is you put those options back in their face and say, look, whatever it is you choose to do, I'm here with you, I'm gonna support you. But that's a decision that you have to make, because once that decision is made, guess who has to live with it? You know what I'm saying? It ain't gonna be a decision you made because I told you to. It's gonna be a decision that you made because you feel like that's best for you. You know what I mean? That's just what it is. And that's how I operate. But because once you tell somebody maybe they should stop doing something in regards to their goals and dreams. You absolutely become a parasite. It's just what it is. People who, on the flip side, people who are running the business, who are going through that struggle. When you tell someone that's working for someone else, you working for someone else, you'll never understand the struggle that I'm going through, and you don't have what it takes to do what I'm doing. At that point, you have become a parasite. And because it may be true that that person don't have what it takes. That might be true. That just might be true. However, who are you to tell them that? You know what I mean? If they doing what makes them happy, then support it. Even if it's not the dream that you have, then support it. And you don't have to be in a relationship with that person to support that person's dreams. It's just what it is. You know what I mean? So that's what I mean by two people that are refrigerators and have the potential to be refrigerators can be parasites to each other's subconsciously, you know? And until you guys, the two people that's in a relationship, until they realize that and change it around and start fertilizing, watering, nourishing, caring for, cultivating, pouring into each other's goals and dreams, then you guys are gonna continue to be parasites to each other. You know, I personally, but this is just my personal belief, I don't believe that if you have one person aiming at success in regards to themselves, like business-wise or whatever, and the next person is cool and complacent with working for someone else, not necessarily working for somebody else, and let me say that over. Not necessarily working for someone else, but cool and complacent with where their life is, then those two are parasites for each other. You know, because you got one person that's aiming at a higher level in life, but you got the next person who is cool where they at. So if you cool where you at, what makes you think that you're gonna motivate and help cultivate and water and grow the person who's aiming at a higher level? It's just not gonna happen. You may do it for a little while because that's what quote unquote you're supposed to do when you're in a relationship, is be there for the person that you love, uplift the person that you love, but shoot, it's only gonna last for so long because it's not done from here. It's not done from here in regards to your natural instinct or your natural being. You're doing it by force because that's what you're supposed to do in a relationship, as opposed to you doing it because this is what you want to do because you have the same ideas. It's not going to work like that. No, I don't see how that could work. I'm sitting here, I'm busting my tail every day, trying to make better. You know what I mean? Trying to advance, trying to get a lifestyle that I'm comfortable with, you know, to provide for my family or just myself. But yet you sitting over there, cool. You go to work, you come home, and you just chill. That to me, that can't work. To me, that's not gonna work. You know what I mean? And there's nothing wrong with going to work, coming home, chilling, and enjoying life the way that you want to. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But if you're in a relationship with someone or a friendship with someone that is trying to elevate to another level, and you cool where you at, then you guys are parasites for each other. It's just what it is. You know what I mean? But both of you guys can be refrigerators. You know, you can be refrigerators and a parasite at the same time. You know? That's just my opinion. You know what I mean? It's just what it is. So, you know, hey, check this out. Let me know what y'all think. Get back to your boy, Lonnie Hill, Flatline Fitness, baby. We grinding. My walk is over now. I done made it back home. About an hour walk. There it is.